What's going on? I had a student contact me about giving them some help with finding out if a quadratic is a perfect square or completing a square activity. So first of all, to figure out if a quadratic is a perfect square, you have to use the formula b squared minus 4ac is equal to 0. You have to use this formula. So if all your a, b, and c is given, all you do is plug in the numbers into that formula and then see if it gives you 0. If it gives you 0, it is perfect square. If you're missing a value, you can still use this, plug in what you have, and then solve for the variable that you're looking for. So let's try this one. So again, our terms are in order, a, b, and c in order. So a would be the number in front of x, which is imaginary 1. So remember, there is imaginary 1 in front of x. B will be your negative 12. Remember, the sign goes with it. And C is the positive 36. So now we're going to just plug in these numbers into the formula. So B is negative 12. Negative 12 squared. Don't forget the squared. Minus 4. What is A? A is 1. So we're multiplying. And then C is 36. All this must be equal to 0 for it to be perfect. So I have negative 12 squared, which is negative 12 times negative 12. A negative times a negative is a positive. So I have 144. Then I have a negative 4 times 1, which is negative 4. And then negative 4 times 36, which is a negative 144. So as you can see here, this is equal to 0. So that means this will be a perfect square. Here's an example where there's a missing part of our quadratic. So if you're trying to find the missing part of the quadratic and you're trying to figure out what part makes this quadratic a perfect square, you have to use the same formula. B squared minus 4ac is equal to 0. So again, all we have to do is plug in and label, and then plug in our numbers. So our a value is always in front of the x squared, which is 1. If you don't see it, it's a 1. If you don't see a number there, it's a 1. Our b value is negative 8, which is our linear term. And then we have our constant, which is c. So that's missing. So we need to figure out what is c. So all I got to do is use the same formula we just used to find the missing value. So b squared, b is negative 8. So parentheses, negative 8 squared minus 4 times a is 1. And then our c is unknown. So I'm just going to put x. That's going to be equal to 0. So again, it has to be equal to 0. Then we're going to solve this as normal. So I have negative 8 squared, which is negative 8 times negative 8. Negative times negative is a positive. So I have 8 times 8, which is 64. Minus 4 times, negative 4 times 1 is negative 4. Negative 4 times x is negative 4x. That's going to be equal to 0. So now I'm solving it like normal. I need to move my constant to the other side. Like I'm solving a regular linear equation. I'm going to move this to the other side. Whenever you move something to the other side, it becomes its opposite. So I have negative 4x is equal to, this was positive 64. So on this side, it has to be a negative 64. And then I do what? I get rid of my coefficient. So I'm going to then divide both sides by the number in front of x, which is negative 4. So once I divide this, I have x is equal to negative times negative is 16. Well, negative divided by negative is a positive, which makes it a positive 16. Negative 64 divided by negative 4 is a positive 16.